Shalom Akim, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, all right, who taught me this truth, all right. This is Naaman again, and this is another video from the site to Borosaurus Rex. Once again, he's a prepper, and I'm doing this to try to show that a lot of you people out there, you thought we were crazy, you thought we were conspiracy theories, and we just pulled all this out of our ass or whatever have you, all right. And this is directed primarily and of course to you Jakes, you Israelites out there that don't want to wake up, all right. And we understand through the scriptures that a lot of you just aren't meant to get it, but the effort, in case there's a few more out there that can, all right, that are starting to see this. It just might just need that little extra prodding, all right. So here's another video from Borosaurus Rex, all right. So let's get it on.
Hey guys, Rex here. Guess what? I'm pissed. You know how frustrating it is to try to help sheep not go into a slaughterhouse? It's frustrating. You can warn people for 500,000 years straight exactly what's going to go down, and they think it's fucking funny. And they think it's cute. Until it starts to actually stuff, even like toilet paper. Then you got their attention. But it's too late. If you ain't prepared, man, if you ain't mentally, spiritually, psychologically, and actually physically prepared, I'm about to not have mercy for a lot of you. This has been written down for thousands of years. Exactly when it would happen, exactly how it would happen. Not exactly, but generally. You can read the signs of the times. When you see a thundercloud coming right at you with like green lights and flashing lightning, you know there's a storm coming. Don't be surprised when it starts raining. People are running around in this country like it's Disneyland still. And I'm not saying people should panic, but people should be prepared. And the reason I'm pissed is because I know a lot of you have taken a lot of steps and dedicated your lives to trying to help people out on this deal. And be ready for it. And the cold hard reality, which I did know that it would be a very tiny amount of people, even the ones that think they're on that boat, would actually be ready for this deal when it comes. I'm talking on all dimensions. Because we were told that's the way it would be. Very, very few would be the ones that would make it through all the different aspects of this kind of warfare. This ain't conventional warfare, guys. This is a battle for your soul. This is a battle for your mind and your spirit and your body. They want it all. And people are sheep. They're worse than sheep. It's more pathetic. How can you domesticate the most wily critter, the most cunning critter on the face of the earth, to be this stupid? In a country as great as ours, that was founded on biblical principle, people who were raised with biblical principle and knew what was coming, are still not prepared and still.
But that's the thing. I said in the last video how this country, see, he's, like I said, he's a prepper, all right. again, these are these patriot types. You have to understand that, all right? And they're still under that. Well, this country was set up under Christian principles. Well, you're not the real Christians to begin with, all right? And I lost my place what I was looking for. But anyway, yeah, these are these die-hard. That's why I'm doing these couple of videos, because a lot of these people are still under that illusion that they're actually the people of the Lord. All right, and he's coming off of that. And I said in my last video how the more I listen, the more pissed I get, because this is supposed to be us, but we went off. All right, so here it is. These hypocrites are claiming to be, all right, followers of Hamashiach, but then it gets down to images. All right, their power tells you everyone can come to him. Their power is Jesus Christ. Their power is not our power. Their power is not the power of the nation of Israel. All right, plain and simple. All right, so they're under this delusion, all right, that this country is found on biblical principles. Never mind you that the people you came over here and slaughtered and took their land were actually Israelites. And that book that you hold so dear has nothing to do with you in the sense that you think it does, all right? But that book belongs to the people that you raped, robbed, and murdered, all right? And attempted genocide on. And the people who, by blood, are related to those self-same you brought over here, known as Negroes, who are actually Israelites, being the southern kingdom, and Gad and Reuben being the northern kingdom, so-called Native Americans, all right? And a lot of you, like I said in the last video, a lot of these Bible Belt, these Bible thumpers, are Israelites. Thinking of Romans 10. Let me get that real quick, all right? This is Romans chapter 10. It says, for I bear them record that they have a zeal of the Most High Yahweh, but not according to knowledge. All right? All right? A zeal. That's Strong's G2205.
Strong's G2205. Zelos. Zelos.
Zelos. Excitement of mind. They used to have those revivals back in the day. These Edomites get up in there. Oh man, they go for hours. Hours. All right? Excitement of mind. Ardor. Fervor of spirit. Pursuing, defending. Zeal in behalf of. The fierceness of indignation. Punitive zeal. All right? Sadly enough, a lot of the lynchings took place right after a good church service by these Edomites. All right? In envious and contentious rivalry, jealousy. All right? Fervent mind. All right? So back to the video.
Clueless and still procrastinate.
He got a good point. I almost forgot until he just spoke there. Where he talks about the sheep. All right, we're out there every weekend. Got camps all over the United States, all over the world now. And you people still refuse to listen. Again, another reason why I'm doing this video, using this guy, because let someone else tell you in not so unfamiliar terms. All right? This is what they're seeing, and our own people refuse to see. All right? Once again, this is not without cause, because we as a people, we broke the contract. We went off. All right? And it's to the point with our people, you really don't even want to be around them because they're so disgusting. Jeremiah's 2nd chapter, all right? They become that degenerate vine. That's not how we were supposed to be. And it's sad because these are Israelites. But they're so far gone, you can't stand to be around them. This is, going back, this is Jeremiah, let's see, I think it's 9th chapter. Let me see. As soon as this catches up with me, Shalakia. Let's see. I'll start at the top. This is Jeremiah chapter 9, verse 1. It says, "Oh, that my head were waters, and mine eyes a fountain of tears, that I might weep day and night for the slain of the daughter of my people. Oh, that I had in the wilderness a lodging place of wayfaring men, that I might leave my people and go from them, for they be all adulterers, an assembly of treacherous men. And they bend their tongues like their bow for lies, but they are not valiant for the truth upon the earth, for they proceed from evil to evil, and they know not me, saith the Most High Yahweh." All right. It says, "For take ye heed every one of his neighbor, and trust ye not in any brother, for every brother will utterly supplant, and every neighbor will walk with slanders." All right. Satan, boy, every time you get going, wow, crazy. All right, let's go back to. I want to stop the momentum here.
Spiritually, physically, all of the above.
Sheeple.
Talk is cheap. I hear people talking like tough guys all day long. Do they have their shit together? No. How many do? Not a lot. And the ones that do ain't all good guys. That's the part that's going to be the most entertaining for most of you guys. Everyone made fun of guys like me for all my life. Because I'm alert. I'm not clueless. I'm prepared. As much as I can be. I wish I was more prepared. None of us is perfect. I'm far from perfect on many categories. But like, it's going to be ridiculous how easy this country is going to be lost because people are so clueless and so unprepared and so domesticated to where when something slightly scary happens, they're going to give up everything they got. And they'll go in and they'll have just like a cattle operation. You guys ever run cattle? Now, I'm not like a cowboy, but I can explain this to you real quick. If you're going to herd cattle because you want to eat them later or sell them, one of the two, they're all out in the field, inside the fence you've created, and you've bred them to be stupid and domesticated for a long time, right? That's the best kind of cattle to have. They're easy to work. Working bison is not easy because they're kind of still wild. Cape buffalo, not a good idea because they're very wild animals, very dangerous. But domesticated cattle, no problem. We could breed that into them pretty quick. So you get them inside this big fence, and they're kind of free. And they don't want to go to a corral and be eaten, obviously, because they're stupid and they like their comforts. Okay? And they don't have the main weapon you have as a cowboy against the cattle is their stupidity and cluelessness and their herd mentality. What way's everyone going to go? Let's follow everybody, right? So all you do as a cowboy is you go out there and you make some noise. You just start hitting a trash can lid with a stick, or you get on your horse with the whip and you start going whoop, 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 hollering, hooting, getting them to, murr, murr. Oh no, a cowboy on a horse. There's only 300 of us versus 3 of them, and we're way more powerful and strong than them. We couldn't stampede away and crash through this fence. A cow can walk straight through a barbed wire fence if it wants to. Like if they go crazy and they don't know what's going on, they're just kind of stumbling around. They'll walk straight through it like there's nothing there. How does a barbed wire fence even keep them corralled anyways? Dude, when you're setting up the chutes to start to funnel them down and constrain them, like the gates, the steel gates, you don't even have to tie them together or pound them into the ground. You just lean it up against the cattle trailer, right? And they'll see it and they're like, oh no, a fence. Go this way, guys. Let's go through this funneled area. Murr, murr. Oh no, a guy's hitting a stick against his foot and saying, whoop, whoop, whoop. Let's go this way. And they're stupid and clueless, and they all funnel themselves, or they follow the lead cow. Once you get herd, I mean, if 1 or 2 straggles off, it takes quite a few guys to round that one up. That's kind of a pain in the butt. They're annoying. It's like, dude, you're supposed to follow this herd and be stupid and go over here and get branded, get your nuts cut off, be separated from your mom forever in what they call when you're cutting calves, right? And you're weaning them, right? Yeah. Once you get them in the pen through the chutes that you made, you put them in little pens. Now they can't get nowhere, and then you just jump in between the children cattle called calves and the mommy cattle called cows, and you make one go one way and you make go the other way. You slam the gate and then you chase them away. Then you got them. Okay? Then what do? Once they're in the chutes, man, they're scared. They don't know what to do. But they ain't jumping out. They could crash through if they wanted to. I've seen them jump over the fence or the corrals. They have pretty high gates on some. Some of them turn into spider monkeys and they can get out of there. They turn upside down on top of you, right? So you got to be careful when they get too scared. So once you get them into the corral, see, you're noisy to get them towards the corral. That's when you're doing your hooting and hollering. Once you get them in there and you get them in the chutes, then you calm them down. Then you got a lot more soft-spoken. If they try getting on the chute, you pick up your tone. They get back on the chute, you might have to kick them in the butt. You might have to have an electrical prod, which ain't going to kill nothing, but it hurts just a little bit. It's slightly uncomfortable. And then they just keep going. And even though they see what's happening to the people in front of them, okay? Even though those calves see the one in front of them, kind of like gets flipped over on the branding table and clamped on the head so it can't move, and then 5 dudes come on it and smoke's coming out from the branding iron, it's screaming like it's crying for help. The rest of them start freaking out, so you calm them down, and then you go and you give it its shots because you love it and you want it to have a best long living life possible. Shots make the cattle smarter. They gain IQ points when they get their shots, and it's for the purpose of making them live longer, right, guys? They give them their shots, and then they put a tag on them. They put a mark on them, okay, so that you can log and categorize them on your computer system. Ranchers have computers, and they do statistics, and they do analysis on how the herd is going, how much body weight are they putting on, when is a good time to sell them and eat them, etc., okay? And so you get them through there, and once you run them through the chutes, you got them. And the second you let them, so you have a moment of constriction to get the cattle to submit and to get tagged, right? And to get marked and to get branded and to have their nuts cut off. Can anyone think of any parallels there? What would the nuts cutting off be? What would the branding be? What would be the marking part where you put numbers on them? Or the tag? Or they actually microchip them now. Did you know that?
And that's the interesting thing. He's talking about castration. And through Esau's policies, all right, everything's turned upside down, all right? We're talking about Israel now. They put the woman over the man. And this is, again, punishment. Because We strayed from the law, statutes, and commandments. All right. Now, the good news is that time is winding down on this society, and you're seeing it fall. And per Deuteronomy 30, verse 7, you're seeing these curses that were put upon us being transferred to these devils. All right. But we're not out of here yet. So it's like, don't get cocky. All right. Because Jacob's trouble, all right, is coming into play. This is Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7. It says, alas, for that day is great. And you can see it shaping up. All right. So that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Let's go to Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people, talking about Israel. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book of life. All right? There you go.
It's very, very commonly employed technology for years with cattle. You guys know what I'm saying? Once they get through that moment of constriction, it was so scary for that moment. They're all happy to be tagged and no nuts and branded in a slightly larger pen. Now they're not in the field anymore. They're in the other pen, right? And they calm down. You let them kind of, the adrenaline comes down. They're stupid. They still don't know what's going on.
Representative of the upcoming collapse of the society, the FEMA camps, that sort of thing. That's what he's going into, all right, without being direct, because a lot of what he's and how he's talking now, he's going to get to later on. He's worried about him cutting his channel off. Hey, that's just what it is. So that's why he's not being direct and coming out and saying what he really wants to say. All right, so here we go.
They're with the other cows that were branded and had their nuts cut off and everything like that. Or, you know what I mean? Not cows. Cows are females. The steers at that point, right? Once you get them fixed, there you go. Then they become comfortable. Why is it that they become comfortable after all that? Because they're really stupid. So here's the solution, guys. We're going to talk about a different subject. So we talked about Winston Churchill. We talked about cattle. I'm not a cowboy. I'm a guitar player, but I have worked cattle, okay? Beef. Big sack of trouble unless you properly do it. The people in this country are amazingly clueless. Here's how to avoid panic. My wife and I had the chance to visit the ancient temple of Pan. Not a temple, but it's their old worship grounds. It's up in the northern part of the land of Dan, on the border of Syria, Lebanon, and Israel. And there's a big cave just on the side of a cliff in a mountain. And you come there, and it's kind of by Tel Dan, up in that area. And it's very weird. It's very eerie. It's very scary. Something about it is very ominous. I don't know what it is about that place, but that's where they would worship the god of panic. So, I don't know what's going on up there. But panic is what you need to fear. Panic is unchanneled fear. Fear that is not used to motivate you to be prepared. Okay? Now, when you're motivated through fear to be prepared, at least it was useful. People who are prepared all of a sudden become less fearful. Now, if you're spiritually prepared, all of a sudden you're not really all that scared at all.
Good point. And that's what we're trying to tell you people. That's what we're trying to get you to do. This is Isaiah 33 and 6. Dive into these scriptures. Come back to your true heritage. All right. This is Isaiah chapter 33, verse 6. And it says, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Most High Yahweh is his treasure. All right? Stability. Strong's H530. Amawana. What does that sound like? Firmness, fidelity, steadfastness, steadiness, faith. Faith, perseverance, security. These scriptures, all right, following the law, statutes, and commandments, all right? That's what we're trying to, this is what's going to give you stability, all right? Because also it talks about great pangs as a woman in labor with child. That's what's coming. These strong men that he was alluding to, all right, they're going to have their hands over their loins like crying in pain, all right, because they don't know what to do. They developed the wrong type of muscle. That's what he was just talking about. In fact, let me rewind it just a little bit. Maybe I'll pick it back up. Where he talks about being spiritually prepared.
When it comes down to the wire. And that's a fact. I've been with a lot of tough guys who talk tough on many occasions. And when it came down to the wire, the guys that were meek and humble, and they might have been skinny guys with glasses, or chubby kids that were quiet off in the corner, or some nice old cowboy guy or whatever, the ones that have their spiritual affairs in order, they're not worried. They read in this book, they know what was going on. They're probably pretty prepared physically, but they're prepared spiritually. They realize, dude, check this out. Here's the key to not having fear and panic. You have to realize we're not on this planet forever. People who don't have a relationship with something greater, I'm just going to say it, that don't have a relationship with their Creator, this world is everything. And when they risk losing their comforts of this world, that's all they got. And that's why they act the way they do when it comes down to the wire. They either turn evil or they lose their shit. People that are spiritually prepared, truly spiritually prepared, like we talked about in a prior video, like David, if you really believe what God said, if you're not faking it, you will take very careful heed to his words and his warnings for the day that we're in right now.
This is Proverbs. Oops. Let me get it real quick. This is Proverbs chapter 4. Again, when this catches up with me. All right. This is Proverbs 4, and I started 2. It says, for I give you good doctrine. Forsake ye not my law. For I was my father's son, tender and only beloved in the sight of my mother. He taught me also and said unto me, let thine heart retain my words, keep my commandments, and live. 5, get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not, neither decline from the words of my mouth. Forsake her not, talking about wisdom, and she shall preserve thee Love her, and she shall keep thee. 7. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. All right? And that's what he's going into right here because, again, when you think about the story of King David, all right, when he was a stripling and, you know, they were going around searching for who could possibly be anointed king. He went around to his brothers, some of them might have been, all buff, but people were so concerned about looking on the outside. And that's not the way the Most High works, all right? He looks on the inner, the spirit. And guess what? It was the little stripling, all right, out tending the sheep. How ironic. All right, so here we go. This is spiritual.
And you'll have been like Joseph and stockpiled food for 7 years and everything else you ever needed, so that when the pestilence comes on the land, you're chilling like a villain. Everyone's coming to you for help. Now, what happened with that story is they ended up, there was an inverse of what we have now. It's actually the same thing we have going on now, actually, is if you have to go to Pharaoh for help or the government for help because you didn't have your stuff in order, and they need to be your mommy now because you're not an adult and you're not a real, actual, like, alpha, you're not actually the leader of the family, your governor is, or your mayor, or the FEMA truck that comes by and drops off a bag of rice someday, or toilet paper. I mean, toilet paper, what the hell? That's your God at that point, if you're not prepared. That's why God tells us these things, so that his humble servants can know when the time comes, the things that are going to pass.
Who are only Israelites, who are Israelites, not everyone else. All right, got to make that clear. There's no such thing as a spiritual Israelite. We're talking about a nation, a people, a bloodline.
So that they're ready for it, and when it goes down, they can know that they worship the real God. There's a whole category of people in this country that are not surprised and are not worried. And the reason I'm angry is because there's a lot of people that I love, which is basically everybody. In all honesty, like
that Christian philosophy, and we know damn well that's really not the case.
What's coming next, and you'll see soon enough, we collectively deserve as a country.
And why is it?
If it gets, I'm not going to say what it is because it'll turn my channel off. You'll see. We deserve it. We sat on our asses and did not do his work in his fields. The parable of the different servants. The master leaves and goes away for some business trip or whatever, comes back a while later, and one of his servants was actually busting his ass to get the master's stuff done. The other one squandered away all the money and pissed his time away being lazy and being clueless. That master got beat many times with a stick or whipped. The other one was rewarded with a lot of gold. That's paraphrasing, okay, guys? But we're going to deserve every last bit of every single stroke of the whip. We're going to deserve it. And those people that are not ready for all this, spiritually, you're not going to hate.
Again, they dance around the real issues, all right? Why do you deserve? Why? Let's go to Numbers 35 and all the way down to the end. All right? This is why. Because you put your hands on the wrong people. All right, it says, Numbers chapter 35, verse 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. Now, whose blood did you shed? All right, that's the question they're not addressing. Who are these people that you came over here and slaughtered? These are the people that helped you when otherwise you would have died because you didn't know what the fuck you were doing. Those people were Israelites. You call them Indians, savages. All right? When James Adair came over here and lived with them for 40 years, and he came to the conclusion, and rightfully so, that these were Israelites. All right? Because they followed those customs. You came into somebody else's house and jacked them. This is John 10 and 10. It says, the thief cometh not. Who is the thief? All right. Who's the thief? John the Revelator saw this. Revelation 20th chapter. All right. The thief cometh not, but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly. That's another reason you're seeing all these UFO sightings. All right. The Most High is doing this. This is Zechariah chapter 5, verse 1. And it says, then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. All right, we're talking about what Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, calls UFOs. He says, for every one that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and every one that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. What did you steal? Let's go to Exodus chapter 21. Scroll on down here. Exodus chapter 21, verse 16. And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, are we not still here? He shall surely be put to death. So there you have it. Just cause. See, all those shows that you made fun of Jake back in the day, like Cops and shit like that, or another one, more recent, Bait Car, shit like that, where you set Jake up. All right? That's what's been done to you. That's what's been done to you. The nation of Edom I'm talking about. So-called white people. That's what's been done to you. You've had the rule, and look at the planet. You had the rule. You had the dominion. All right? This is Revelation 11. So, when everything's tallied up, what? Because of your very nature, it worked against you. That's why there is no repentance for Esau. This is Revelation chapter 11, verse 18. And the nations were angry. All right? They bought into your bullshit. Now they're angry. And thy wrath is come in the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, which are only Israelites, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. There are two patches of garbage floating in the Pacific Ocean. Each one is the size of the state of Texas. Not to mention all the nuclear pollution from spent fuel from these nuclear plants and other things like weapons. All right. Chemical poisonings, GMOs. The earth is defiled under you, the inhabitants thereof.
Hang in there if you're only squared away physically. If you're not ready spiritually, if you don't really understand that the Creator loves you,
Israelite, if you're an Israelite,
you're
only the
fucked.
elect at that.
Yeah, I said it.
You know, because 2/3 of Israel is not going to even make it. So it's not all Israelites. All right? As Paul put it, it says all Israel is not of Israel in Romans 9. All right? So he's talking about God loves you and everyone. You know, it's not. Again, when this catches up with me, it's a short delay in that. All right? This is Romans chapter 9, verse 6. It says, not as though the word of the Most High hath taken none effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel. And if I were to start at the top, it's letting you know, all right, who he's bearing witness for in the Holy Spirit, all right? And it's not spiritual Israelites, all right? So for time's sake, I'm going to end it there. Again, the site, and again, this parallels pretty much. We're talking about the Sheeple. We're only concerned about Israel, all right? But in general, he made a good point. You're trying to rescue someone and tell them what's going on, and they don't want to listen. They fan the hand, and sure enough, when shit kicks off, they're going to come a running. But it's too late, all right? So again, this is from the site. He's a prepper. Tiborosaurus Rex, all right? And the title is Final Warning to the United Sheep of America, rated R. All right. So with that, wow, I didn't intend to go that long. So with that, once again, I hope whoever sees this is edified. Call halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Bahashim Rakakwadash. Once again, double honors to the Apostles' great millstone, all right, who taught me this truth. Salutations to the Akim out there on the highways and byways pushing this truth in all sincerity, all right. Trying to wake up the hopeful elect. All right, so with that, shalom.